Hello my friends and welcome. Katie here with Eastwick's Paper and Ink. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. Today I am back for another quick video with some inspiration from cutcardstock.com. So this is the Gmund 100% cotton shiny cream cardstock. This is 100% cotton that you can kind of see has this glittery, shimmery cover to it, top to it. So the back side is just a flat, looks like watercolor paper, a little bit of texture, but the top is got, it's like this shimmery layer that's on it. It's really, really pretty. But one of the things I wanted to try doing was ink blending on it. I absolutely love ink blending on 100% cotton paper. And so I thought I would give it a try on this, and especially because it has that shimmery, glittery top to it, I wanted to see how well that would shine through once we ink blended, if it would, you know, the ink would stay, and so on. So some distress inks, I've got mustard seed, spice marmalade, and fired brick. And then I'm using my Pink and Main ink blending brushes. I've just got the purple tape that I showed in my last video. This is not from Thermoweb, and I'm just taping it down to my Imagine craft mat, and I am going to lift this up so it's in frame a little bit more in just a second. So I wanted to mask off, so I had just, you know, a nice little strip to ink blend on, and I'm going to start off with the mustard seed, then go into the spice marmalade, and then bring in the fired brick. I was going, since we're in autumn, I wanted to, you know, do an autumn themed, colored theme card today. So I actually made this card for my husband, and you'll see as we go through it what the sentiments are and things like that. But some of the other products I've got is the petal stencil from Pink and Main that I'm going to use to create some leaves, and the U stamp set from Pink Fresh Studio. So here we are going in with the spice marmalade, and the brushes actually are like really like makeup brushes. Some hairs fell off, which is no big deal. I was able to brush those away. And I just cleaned off my brushes in between on a washcloth. But I don't know what it is about 100% cotton paper, my friends, but I just love to ink blend on it. It gives such smooth transitions. It's really effortless. Now I've got this sped up 3 times. So, you know, I'm not ink blending that quickly, but it's a bit tedious to sit and watch somebody ink blend. I have done a video in the past comparing different cardstocks and papers, 100% cotton papers and regular watercolor papers that are student grade that aren't 100% cotton, that you can check out on my channel if that interests you. But I just love the ease of blending on 100% cotton paper. So here I'm coming in with the fired brick, and I intended to have the card in this direction, so it was light to dark. But as you see as we go through the video, this panel was my first one, and when I went to do my stenciling, I messed it up. And so you're going to see that later on. I use that panel to die cut my larger U sentiment. You know, to die cut and put that sentiment out. So the only thing, once I get done with this ink blending, I wish I had my StazOn pigment ink. I used the VersaFine Claire Fallen Leaves, and I have, you know, the pine cone and stuff like that, but I wanted a brown. The problem is that the VersaFine Claire takes a while to dry, at least on this particular cardstock. And it ended, you know, so since it wasn't dry when I die cut it, obviously it's stuck to my platform or whatever. The ink got on my platform. But if I use my StazOn pigment ink, it dries super quick on all surfaces. And so I do wish that I had that, because it kind of faded out the U. You're going to see that later on. But here for the leaves, I just masked off. This is what I didn't do the first time, was I didn't pick just a leaf like I'm doing here, or a petal that I'm going to turn into leaves. And so here I finally got it right and went ahead and masked off just one, and then I'm using walnut stain. Yeah, walnut stain to ink blend those leaves. And the walnut stain is actually the one that really on camera shows that shimmer come through, because it kind of lightens it and gives it, I don't even know what color that is. I can't think right now, it's late, but I loved it. I love the way that it turned out over top of this shimmer cardstock. So here I'm just finishing up putting in my petals, and I did, have them come off the tape a little bit so that it, gives a nicer pattern. And then I'm going to clean up the tape just because I'm messy. Actually, I'm going to go in, you can see some bald spots there, so I'm just going to go touch up a couple of these petals. The ink dried, after ink blending and stuff, dried fairly quickly for that. And the only one that didn't was the Versafine Clear. And I think, obviously, because that's a pigment ink, it sits on the surface, it takes a little bit. So if you use this type of cardstock to stamp on, I would go with a StazOn ink, because it will dry super quick for you. So here I'm just taking my Signo Broad white gel pen, and I'm going to create some leaves by hand. No big deal, just adding in the veining. But what's nice about the white is that once it dries, it kind of fades into that walnut stain. So when you have it in person, it's kind of like an angle, is when you see the white, but then it kind of blends in to soften and make it like a really soft brown veining. It's really, really pretty. So once I get that done, I will show you the stamping. And it doesn't seem like, but I do have this sped up 3 times. But, this turned out really nice. I made this for my husband, and once we get to the sentiments, you'll be able to see. But I kept this in a little bit more than I probably should with the veining, just to show you that it's super easy to add little details like this. And, using a petal stamp is, I'm not an artist, so I can't draw a leaf to save my life, even as simple as that shape. So this made it super easy to be able to, ink blend the color in, and then just go in and hand draw in those veins, because, they're just simple lines. And then we're done. So use stamp set from Pinkfir Studio. This was the panel that I had messed up on. I stamped this, and as you're going to see once I get done, that's in Fallen Leaves, that when I die cut the U, I just did the outline because I stamped it. You're going to see the ink blending on the lower portion there of the U. Well, that cuts out, obviously. And I wasn't really thinking, I was thinking that inner part of the U would cut out. But I was using the outline of the die, not the inner part. So no problem, because I was able to flip the panel around and then line up the colors on the bottom half. So you'll see that here in a second. And so that's the sentiment. So it's going to say, "You are so much more to me than you'll ever know." And we have an anniversary coming up. We've been married 12 years, and at the end of the month on Halloween. So any chance I can, he kind of gets short end of the stick. He doesn't get cards and stuff. So anytime I can. And this, again, it's a perfect masculine card. It's not girly. I mean, yeah, it's got that shimmer on there, but it's perfect for a guy because it just makes everything stand out a little bit more without all this glitz and glitter. So that's going to finish that up. So now I'm just adding in that U, and here I'm going to show you where I line up the ink blending right there. And so you never really know that I wasn't paying attention when I was die cutting everything out. But that's going to wrap up the card for me today, guys. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. If you haven't checked out cutcardstock.com yet, I encourage you to do so. They've got some fantastic sales. Check my Instagram. I try to put up when they have sales because you get additional coupon codes. Sign up for the newsletter. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I'll catch you in the next video.